Hello and welcome everyone to another brand new episode of the World Radio League Show here on a fantastic Monday afternoon. Welcome every one of you in the chat and watching around the world. We're glad for each and every one of you. Saw some good friends in the chat, some new folks. Welcome in. Glad to have you today, and it's going to be a fantastic show. We've got all kinds of stuff to cover today. Just a quick show opener. Be weather aware today. We've got all kinds of severe weather going on in the Midwestern United States. I'll throw you out a YouTube channel recommendation to kind of keep an eye on really national weather. So if you're in Midwestern U.S., be weather aware. There's a lot of tornadic and severe thunderstorms going on. So, but with that, let's go ahead and bring in our favorites, James and Catalina. How you both doing today? Great to see you. All right, we got no audio out of James. James, you're muted.
I'm here.
There we go. There he is. There he is.
Thank you for the thanks for the weather notes. I did not know that.
Yeah,
How you doing, Catalina?
Getting nasty out there.
Hello. How are you?
Doing fantastic. How's the weather in Argentina today?
So you can see, it's very, very hot, cold in Argentina. In my city, especially, we are alert for wind, like strong winds since yesterday. It's very, very cold. That's why my voice is not very good today.
Yeah, I understand completely.
But yeah, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
How's the weather in the United States?
It is here in Missouri. It is right now. It's partly cloudy, very windy, and very warm. And I mean, it's ripe for some tornadic experiences later today. So let's hope that doesn't get too bad. But yeah, I could definitely see some stuff happening later. We are in a tornado watch right now. There's a large area of the Midwestern U.S. under tornado watch at the moment. So just kind of have a plan for getting your nearest shelter, or taking shelter as these storms move in later this afternoon and this evening. James, how's the weather in Georgia?
Oh, well, here it's perfect. We're in the
Awesome.
low 70s, absolutely just beautiful. So
yeah,
I can't complain.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, we've got a bunch of stuff to cover today. I mean, yeah, we've got a ton of stuff to cover. I'm gonna start out here. Catalina's gonna love this because this is one of Catalina's favorite things to talk about is birthdays. So we're going to wish Mr. Samuel Morse, the inventor of Morse code, a happy birthday with a nice happy birthday song here. All right, yeah. Samuel Morse, inventor of the Morse code, was born on April the 27th of, and I lost my...
1791.
There you go, 1791. That's exactly right. That was a long time ago, but yeah, absolutely. A huge thank you to Mr. Morse for all he's done for ham radio, even probably without knowing it really. So just wanted to since it was his birthday, wanted to give that a shout out today. There are a lot of people discussing that today, and the show happened to land right on the day, so great opportunity there. So we've got, as I said, we've got some new stuff coming in World Radio League. We got a lot of bug fixes out this week, and some new stuff coming. James, before we talk about the new features, why don't you walk us through kind of some of the bug fixes that we have are already launched this week?
Okay, I would love to. And I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to show you guys this from the weekly email. If you're not on the weekly email, all you have to do is sign up for free for a World Radio League account, and you'll automatically get on that email. But I'm just going to pull it up for you just in case you haven't seen it. This is the section where we add all of those new features and bug fixes. And as you can see, it is just absolutely jam-packed with a lot of fixes. So you didn't see a lot of new stuff coming out last week, but trust me, we were absolutely rocking through it on the back end and bug fixes. We had where the map pin was going your location instead of the other person's location in some cases. We have fixed that, or actually a little pop-up that was showing that. We fixed where the logbook action menu was getting cut off, a sort order issue, a spotting mode filter for USB, LSB, SSB. Basically, we want to make it so if you select SSB, it still shows you those USB and LSB. There was a bug there that has been fixed. There was a incorrect QSO count on the mobile app when you were offline. That is fixed. Shout out to the mobile app as well. So you can download fully offline there. And various other things. There a really good one was satellite template issues. There was a couple things we needed to fix when we were logging satellites. It's a bit tricky because you're logging split. You have the uplink and downlink frequencies. That's been corrected.
Awesome.
And those are pretty much some of the main ones. Hawaii, as you guys may know, Hawaii and Alaska are both DX entities and states. So we found a shout out to KB8DDG who found that one. Where there were some places where we were only counting it as
a couple of stats pages. Yeah.
So
that's exactly right.
Now you'll get credit.
Thank you.
There.
Yeah, I appreciate the call out there by KB8DDG. That's awesome catch. Thank you very much. Yeah, and I know that we've got some stuff coming up here really soon. I do want to mention that the developer that was out and getting married last week, not to be confused with the developer that was out and getting married the week before. We've had 2 devs get married in the last 3 weeks. So we're recovering from that, but both devs are back in the office now, and they are the 2 devs that were needed to get cat control in the desktop app. So we will be looking at getting cat control into the desktop app, and I think our estimate as of last week was 3 to 6 weeks from then. James, I think we're still on track 2 to 4 weeks from today, wouldn't you say?
We are still on track. And also, I want to give a shout out to Timothy, KH2XX, who has also, in the email, you notice we gave a shout out to another user who's helping us there, S51BW. But Timothy's been helping us a lot on the satellite issue. Thank you so much for the constant feedback there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zach's asking if they closed their engagement tickets and asked if there was a pull request for the weddings. No, but we did count their weddings as what we would call a major feature. So we will give them that. But yeah, no, they're fantastic. They're awesome guys, and they seem to be really happy so far after being married. So I wish them all the best, and congratulations to both of them. And we've talked about them on this stream before. Give Surafel and Najim both a shout out for their recent respective weddings to their new brides. So yeah, give them a shout out in the chat. And also, while you're giving them a shout out, give them a thank you for all they've done for cat control and for the desktop app. All they've done for the ham radio hobby. I mean, really, these guys have done so much for the ham radio hobby. All four of our devs have done so much for the ham radio hobby, and it's just incredible. We really, really appreciate them, and they're fantastic guys. So, all right, I'm done buttering them up for now. We have all kinds of stuff coming, but we are now testing, and we are testing a lot of things. Let's talk about ham radio. James, what are we calling this? This week we're calling it the Ham Radio Command Center. We've talked about it as the tactical dashboard. We're gonna have a name for it by the time we release it. I'm favoring operating console myself, but we'll see. We'll see what we call it by the time we release it. I'm supposed to be having a one-on-one session with the dev working on that here in the next day or two, and we will be finalizing our dashboard now that he's back. He's also the dev that's working on that, finalizing that dashboard now that he's back and getting that out the door. That's actually very close to launch, an MVP launch, so we're excited to see that one get out the door. It's so cool. I've demoed it on the stream before, and maybe here after the break or something, if I have time to pull it up, I might be able to show you again kind of what we're looking at, since there's been a couple changes since. But it is such an awesome feature, and I'm so excited for the dashboard / command center / big beautiful page with lots of widgets. And we've also got some smaller features coming, that just some smaller ones that have a really, really great impact. Call sign stacking. James, you kind of initiated this one a little bit. Well, I guess this was kind of a team effort. We kept seeing feedback about this, and we all kind of brought this one to the table. But why don't you want to kind of explain to us how call stacking works and what that's for?
Yeah, and so this is actually just from popular demand. I don't actually use this type of. I like to get one call sign at a time. Personally, that's my. But if you are in a pileup, sometimes you'll hear a lot of partial call signs. So call stacking is just the ability to type partial call signs and then come back to them, and separate the different call signs with the characters, like a double slash or. Not a comma, because that would actually,
comma separated.
But let's say a double slash, and allows you to just click enter and call them. So let's say I'm working Andy N0 APX, but I hear a KN4 prefix. I can type that KN4 prefix and then come back to it, and then say,
so basically, if you hear like the KN4 and then the KN4 prefix and then the N0 APX call sign, you can go KN4 double slash N0 APX. And then you can work the N0 APX, hit enter, and it pops you right back to the KN4, and you can say, "Hey, I heard a KN4 out there. Go ahead and give me the rest of your call." Yeah, exactly. That's a really cool feature. It's one of those that I have never. I don't know if I would use it if I had it. I don't know if I would use it. It's something that I'm kind of excited to try and see. But it was very highly requested, so we will be working on that. In fact, I think we're in the middle of it already. That one's going to be really cool. We're going to have some new, James, I'll let you talk about this one too. Some new activity types. What all kinds of activity types? And I mean, when we talk about activity types, we're talking POTA, SOTA, WWFF, Islands on the Air. Those are the ones we have currently. What else could we see coming to World Radio League?
Yeah, I mean, and just to kind of answer the question, so for World Radio League is a big platform, right, guys? It has a lot of things, and ultimately we want to include any type of feature in there that makes World Radio League better, whether it's contesting, whether it's logging, whether it's integrations, whether it's analytics. But what we're talking about here is a couple things you guys are going to see within the next 30 to 60 days, right? So with that comes. Right now we have POTA, we have SOTA, we have WWFF, and we have IOTA. But if you're in Europe, you might be a BOTA, bunkers on the air. We're going to be adding bunkers on the air into World Radio League. We're going to be adding lighthouses on the air. We're going to be adding lagoons on the air is another one. There's even a castle and fortresses. We're taking a look at all of them. I would say you probably expect to see about 4 to 6 new activity types. But with that, we're going to allow you to select which ones you actually want to see in the platform. So if you're just a POTA guy, if you're just a SOTA guy, you can kind of turn off some of those other ones. But I love this. I mean, I think there's lots of different types of sites you want to activate. We're even looking at eventually, beaches on the air. Thank you, Alan, for hopping in there in the chat. That is absolutely coming. So expect to see a lot more activities, and maybe we might even be looking at doing some local parks as well. We've had that on the radar as well. So if you don't have any state or national parks, we might allow you to activate some different park types within World Radio League too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's awesome. And I mean, these are going to be some really great things. You probably mentioned this. I was watching the chat. You probably mentioned this, but local parks on the air is something that we are, kind of working on the planning stages of, and that could be something really exciting too that we add in eventually. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. So what's the status on these America 250 awards? We discussed those. I announced these here a few shows back. And these are absolutely still a thing. We've got some beautiful designs for the awards, and just kind of pivoting over to that. What's kind of the plan on launch? Everything is retroactive back to January 1st of this year, clear through to December 31st, correct?
That is absolutely right. So I think as of right now, I think with the way that it's going to work out, we'll probably have America 250 in just in time for 4th of July, actually. So we'll have it. We'll probably have it out in the next 60 days.
In other words, the people will start being able to get the awards by then. They're already working towards them, but they'll be able to start getting them assigned at that point, correct?
They'll be able to get them assigned at that point, and you'll have your dashboard to track it. And for those of you who haven't started working on the America 250, we also want to make sure that it is plenty easy for you to work towards it as well. So even if you get started a little bit late, like myself, but now that you'll actually have something to track your America 250 award, you will be able to work towards it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very exciting stuff there. And who knows, if we have time, we may be able to throw in a couple of more easier awards. The ones that we had were going to be challenging, which is the way awards are supposed to be. But we might be able to throw a couple of easier ones in there. You know, if we have time, I was kind of considering a couple of options the other day, and we might have time to do that. Zach is suggesting a new activity to add to the platform, James, and I really like this. Ahoda, Andy's house on the air. I love this idea, Zach. This is awesome. That's exactly what I need. The Blue Barn Studio on the air. There we go. BB Soda, I guess you would call that. Yeah. This is awesome. This is awesome. So, yes, and Zach is very excited about call stacking being worked on. Yes, Zach, we are in the middle of implementing that. So, that's fantastic. Glad you are anxious about that one. Samson says we'll need to add moons on the air here in a few decades. Yeah, maybe we'll see what happens there. Forget moon bounce. We'll have moon repeaters. Zach asks if there's going to be an award for the folks that are about to hit a 1-year daily streak. He's got 35 days to go. Wow, Zach, that's incredible. Great work.
That is awesome. And yes, the streak awards are coming. So as long as you had the streak, the award will get processed, and it'll be retroactive. So even if you lose the streak at some point, don't worry, your awards for the streaks will still get processed. So that is on the top list of awards there. Yeah.
And we are, as I said, we will be very, very quickly working on getting the cat control integrated into the desktop app. But cue the new release music. We do have a new release of the. There we go. We do have a new release of the desktop app coming out in the next couple of days here. It's in testing right now. This is going to be including a lot of bug fixes. You guys reported a lot of stuff for us to fix. We will be getting that prepped out the door just in time to get cat control added into the desktop app, which is going to be awesome. So that release is in testing. You'll see a new build pop up on the website here in just a couple of days. I believe right now we're on 0.0.5. We will be moving towards 0.0.6. And after that one is out, then that paves the way for cat control to be added smoothly. And like we said, best estimate 2 to 4 weeks. It will be in, and that's right on track with our estimates. So far, we're still right on track. If there are any changes, we will let you know in a future show. But as of right now, our best estimate 2 to 4 weeks should be in the platform. So very, very excited. We have a couple more things coming up. Boy, James, you're spilling all our secrets today. I see you added a bunch of new stuff in the show notes here to talk about. But yeah, go ahead and talk about this next one here. We've got a World Radio League API on the horizon, maybe.
Yes, yeah, and I might just kind of tease a couple things that are coming up here. The API is going to be coming very, very soon. So this is going to be the beginning of a much larger API effort that we're going to make. So we are going to be releasing an API that allows you to get your contacts, allows you to add contacts. So for those of you who are developers out there, you're going to have a lot more access to your data. And then for pretty much every single database table and object within the platform, we're going to go from there and keep on adding new API endpoints to get things, to update, to add to the database. So if you want to build your own, roll your own integrations, we're going to keep making integrations. But with how many new ham radio platforms there are out there, we won't be able to create an exact integration for each one. So we want to give you guys the capability to build your own and make WRL very hackable and very friendly. So the API is coming very soon, and it's going to start out with giving you access to your contact records. That'll be the first thing we'll work on.
To be clear, when James says he's going to make World Radio League hackable, he does not mean that your data is going to be vulnerable. He means that you are going to have access to put together some of your own software hacks. So just thought I'd clarify that. No,
exactly.
We have a very secure
when
system.
You API, you have to do there's a lot of things from a security as well as a performance perspective that you have to do as far as rate limiting, as far as API tokens, security, all of those things. So all of that will be in place. But if you want to, fetch your contacts and do some different data analysis on them, you're going to have all of that capability, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And I mean, we're an extremely secure platform at this point, and we're becoming more secure. Recently, we were working on some things to become even more secure on the database end, and we're just every time we see something that could be tightened a little bit, we tighten it up, and we're more secure now definitely more secure now than we were a year ago, and we are extremely secure at this point. But yeah, I mean this API is awesome benefits, and I want to give a shout out to the guys over at Podacat. That's a really cool software to basically control your radio, various functions on your radio. And they have really detailed functions. And they have added a World Radio League integration into their system using our WSJTX UDP port connection. I think that's really awesome. I mean,
that's awesome.
Anybody who wants to do that, it's really simple. Just set up that same UDP stream that WSJTX has, and then you can just forward that into the World Radio League WSJTX UDP port. And this API is going to make that even simpler, because you just use your sign-in credentials or pop an API key in somewhere or something, and just stream it straight across without even having to start a connector app or anything. So, but I think that's great what the guys at Podacat did. That's really cool, and I think that's really awesome that they were able to pull that off. That was a really cool thing I just discovered recently. So. Oh yeah, so the API is coming up. What else do we have here, James? We've got some. You're kind of planning some improvements to our some of our list views and QSO manager, that type of thing, aren't you?
That's exactly right. So some of you may have noticed, and I'll share my screen just for those of you
go for it.
who haven't, is that there's times when you want to see a little bit more fields in your list views. So if you go into your logbooks, you have your log list here on the right. You might want to add in some more information. Maybe you want to add the operator name. Maybe you want to add the quota park as a column. You're going to have the ability to configure and add more data into these columns. So there's going to be a little bit more flexibility here, a lot more flexibility actually as far as what you can show here. The spotting list view is also getting an update very shortly, and we're also going to make it so that when it refreshes, it doesn't, all of your spots don't disappear. I know that's been a point of frustration for a lot of people. That is getting a facelift. So, but you'll be able to see, maybe you want to see distance in this. Maybe you want to see state and quota park inside the spotting list view as well. And then finally, over within your QSO manager, we're going to be doing a revamp on your columns and filters within QSO manager as well. So some housekeeping, but it is going to make things easier within the application.
Yeah, that is fantastic. That's really awesome. So yeah, we'll very much look forward to seeing some of those refinements. And if you want to pull that back up real quick, if you don't mind, what page was it? I think it was on the map view where we added kind of a new style of list view, and I think that was really awesome too. It was on the map page. Yeah, kind of a slightly different style of list view. And we might see some kind of tweaks here and there in the UI and that kind of thing. No major changes in that regard probably, but yeah, some cool ideas. We have, see here, we're coming up against a break here, but we do have a couple more things this side of the break we can talk about. Yeah, so if you have anything you want to see, go ahead, throw it in the comments down below. We can discuss it. If you have any suggestions, throw it in there. If you have a bug, if you have an issue while you're using the app, be sure to hit the report a bug button. The report a bug button is very easy to use, really just quick, simple. Submit a report, and we will get it on our end almost instantly. And we usually respond within 24 hours, but most likely it will be within like 2 hours. I mean, 1 or 2 hours. Brad's on the ball with that and does an awesome job. So go ahead and submit a bug report, and you'll get a response right away on that. And yeah, absolutely. Zach says he has his theme up there on the map page, James, when you showed that. So we'll have to go back and look at that. I wasn't paying enough attention, Zach. That's cool. One more thing, James, do you want to talk about what we're doing since you added it on here for clubs? What we're kind of thinking about long term for clubs, and what we might be seeing here in the next few weeks.
Yeah, we want to add as much support for ham radio clubs as possible. I know a lot of you folks are involved in your local clubs. Some of you guys are just operating from home and, as well, and you're not quite as involved. Either way, that's totally fine. But we want to add a full club directory and make it very easy for clubs to participate as a club within World Radio League. So you're going to see a full list of clubs. That's going to help those of you who aren't part of a club find new clubs that are near you, or for those of you who are part of a club to help recruit new members who might be in your area so they can see that your club on a map and they can join your meetings. I recently did a presentation about World Radio League to my local club here, North Fulton, in Atlanta. And we talked a lot about maybe even some ideas about having little club leaderboards and allowing your club to have sort of a dashboard within World Radio League. So look out for more club support very soon in the future from World Radio League.
Fantastic. Well, we are up against a break. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We will be right back after this. James and Catalina, I think you're both able to stick around at least after this break.
I'm not sure if I can return.
Okay.
Because I have to do something, but maybe I will return later.
Okay, awesome. James is going to be gone later, so maybe you'll come back and fill in the void for us after a while.
We can swap seats.
We'll see you later, Catalina. James, we'll see you on the other side of the break.
And stay tuned, guys. We've got some big news from some FCC updates as well.
All kinds of stuff to talk about after the break. And we'll be talking about slower conditions, some really cool stuff coming up. And we might have a little bit more to talk about on the severe weather side. Plus, I'm going to be digging into the archives and pulling up an old video and reacting to it today, just for the fun of it. But all right. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this.
Hey, it's Jim, N4BFR, lead instructor here at Ham Radio Prep with an important message. If you've been following us for a while, you know how we've helped tens of thousands of people get their ham radio license with our program. But there's so much more to ham radio than just getting your license. You need to get active and start operating. That's why I'm excited to tell you about our brand new Emergency Communications 101 course. We designed this course specifically to teach you how to get on the air and learn the fundamentals of emergency communications. We break it all down in easy to understand lessons and guides with real operating examples and activities, and we talk to experts in their field. By the end of this course, you'll be able to effectively communicate during public service events and emergencies, ensuring the safety of yourself, your family, and your community. So if your focus is emergency communication, sign up today and take your ham radio skills to the next level. I'll see you in class 73.
Welcome back, every one of you, to the 46th episode of the World Radio League Show, broadcasted live from the recently dubbed Blue Barn Studios. I have a sticker handy, or I would show it. I'm Andy, N0APX, having more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. Alongside is our fantastic CEO, James, N0WRL. Miss Catalina had to take a break for a few minutes. She'll likely be back by the end of the stream, so watch for her to come back later. James, we have all kinds of stuff to talk about today. I don't even know where you want to start, but you seem to know about this FCC situation going on here with the AST Space Mobile satellite constellation. So why don't you walk us through that? Tell us what's going on there.
I would love to. So big news in the world of the FCC, especially with regards to satellite and space communications. I know we have several satellite operators on the live stream today, so this will probably interest you. The FCC just authorized AST Space Mobile to provide more coverage from space. So I think they're planning on about 230 satellites they're going to be putting up, and they have been approved for this. We'll share some links in here as well, but I'm going to pull up the PDF so you can see exactly what was authorized here by the FCC. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what this means and doesn't mean for amateur radio. So first of all, right out of the gate, I want to say that no amateur radio spectrum has been lost. The FCC has not taken away any spectrum from amateur radio in order to approve this satellite constellation. If you come down into the frequencies that are going to be in use, you can see the frequencies here. They're pretty much all in around the 700 to 900 megahertz range, but I think that where we get into possible interference, but with amateur radio, is specifically with some of the emergency use frequencies. So they have these TT&C for emergency operations only, Bluebird 1.5 satellites, 430 to 440 megahertz. There have been some hams who have done some studies on this from AST Space Mobile. They found some interference and things like that. I noticed that we have some folks in the chat. Cage2XX, these guys need to go away. They're already causing harmful interference. That's why we want to bring this up. That's why I want to talk about this with everybody, because satellite and space operations is a huge part of amateur radio. It's a huge part of education. It's a huge part of technological advancement. It's a huge part of us as amateur radio operators and regular citizens being able to use that spectrum for, not just space communications, but we're also using parts of that 70 centimeter band for many things. So we need to stay up to date on this, and we will always keep you up to date on any other actions that we can take. This is the latest information as we have it so far.
Okay. Awesome. Fantastic. So when is I was watching some of the chat here. I missed the first part of what you said. What is kind of timeline on this? What's that looking like?
I'm not sure about, since it's approved, I guess that would just depend on AST Space Mobile, as how fast they can deploy and how fast they can get their hardware into space. So they're going to continue to use that, and I think the most important thing for amateur radio operators. Look, this is very cool technology. The continued growth of space, I think, can be a very, very good thing for amateur radio. But I think the takeaway, as well as amateur radio operators, we do, anytime that the FCC especially is making changes to spectrum, we need to continue to make our voices heard and let people know we're here, we're using these frequencies, so we don't get trampled over.
I really think that honestly, amateur radio as a hobby is the pioneer of so many of these things. We're the pioneer of radio communications, and then you get cellular services piggybacking off of amateur radio. Then we are the pioneer of space radio communications, and now we have, amateur radio satellites, and then now we've got, cellular and internet satellites piggybacking, basically, building off of that piggybacking isn't the right word, building off of that foundation that amateur radio operators have laid out. And we've been experimenting with satellites for years, and now they're coming into the space, and it almost feels like they come in and take over. But really, I mean, we still have a pretty, most of our spectrum still here. We continue to innovate, and honestly, just looking at this, my reaction is, well, what's next? What are we going to pioneer next? We've pioneered all these areas. Now let's look for something new to pioneer. And I don't have anything specific in mind. I'm just saying, there's so many great technological advancements that started with amateur radio. So let's continue to experiment and see what new things that we can pioneer to better the world. Because I mean, in all reality, I mean, it's you could probably argue either way, but I would contend that it has in many ways bettered society for all of these internet and cellular satellites to be launched here in the last just 3 or 4 years. It has been a huge improvement for a lot of people. So what's next? What's next on the horizon for amateur radio?
I mean, I think that's really well said. I think if you can look at the benefits of amateur radio to society in many ways. You can say, well, there's the education aspect of it. There's things like what Jim and 4BFR does with amateur radio on the International Space Station, and bringing that into schools, helping schools and young kids get interested in space and radio and electrical engineering. There's electronics experimentation, and there's the people that are developing new technologies. In fact, it was really the amateur radio operators and the invention of packet radio that was sort of the precursor to all of the wireless networking that we do today. So to your point, what is the next frontier? Well, we need to keep that space open in the amateur radio, keep that spectrum open for developing new protocols, for testing new things, because we don't know exactly what the next protocols, the next innovations will be in the world of radio communications. But you need the playground of amateur radio in order to find those things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well said. Yeah, it's honestly, these things they feel almost like infringements, but in reality, it's a mark of success. And I think I wonder if we would treat it that way and really market it that way from a ham radio community, instead of going and berating the FCC and that type of thing whenever these things come along. I understand sometimes they can be a little frustrating, but I wonder if a change of approach here wouldn't actually be beneficial, where we say, look at this great technological advancement, look at this new technological system, and look where it started. We started this. We are the ones who pioneered this. We laid the groundwork for this. Rather than saying, if you approach it as the FCC is infringing upon us and they're tearing us up and all this stuff. No, they're not. They're managing spectrum. They have to manage it, the way they can manage it, and manage it for the betterment of the country. And if we approach it that way, then it leaves a bad taste in their mouth. It leaves a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and nobody, then you're just dealing with these frustrating amateur radio operators who are always complaining about everything. But if you approach it from a perspective of, well, look what we pioneered. Look, this is an amazing advancement. We built this. We laid the foundation for this. This is built off of our groundwork. If you approach it in that way, I have to think that people would start to sit up and take notice, and it might have the desired effect when approaching it from the other direction, if that makes sense.
No, very well said. I mean, and in any case, I mean, I think it is important when we do get the opportunity, like when the AST Space Mobile proposal came from the FCC. I made a video We encouraged a lot of you guys through email to reach out and make comments. We got thousands and thousands of comments from the FCC. I think at one time it was the most commented on docket from the FCC. Thanks to everybody that reached out. And so, regardless, I think that these are meant to be emergency use frequencies by AST. I think if AST is a good actor, they should not be interfering with amateur radio operations on that. I totally agree with Andy's point here. Which is
Samson here said this, laid this out perfectly. Advancing skills in the technical and communication phases of the radio art is part of the purpose of the amateur radio service. That is part of the actual text of the FCC's purpose of the amateur radio service. And companies using the technology is just proof of the success. That is exactly right. We are pioneering all of these avenues, and I think we would be well off to see our success rather than see it as success rather than as competition.
100%. At the same time, we do need, amateur radio spectrum. We need to, we need to protect the spectrum. And I think putting in the way that you said it, of letting the FCC know all of the contributions that ham radio has made and will continue to make is definitely a positive thing. But I think even just them knowing that, like, hey, we are paying attention. You have a large contingent of the population that's paying attention, and that you're going to get benefits from it is always a win. So
and I have to think if we approached it from that positive point of view of, wow, this is awesome. Look what we built. Like, this is from our foundation. Don't you see this is from our foundation? I think approaching it that way would almost have that positive effect of look, these guys are valuable. We need to protect their spectrum. We have this technology because of them. And I think that is an awesome way to look at it. And I hopefully maybe more people can look at it that way. And that is not at all to say that we should not defend our spectrum. I think that is one of the ways we should defend our spectrum. And if it comes to leaving a comment on an FCC docket that says, do not take this spectrum from us, these are the technological advancements we have made by being able to use this spectrum. If it comes to that, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I'm all for that. I'm just saying, I think if we approach it from a more accepting point of view, then we might see some friends in the FCC rather than some competitors.
100%. A couple related comments. Moon's on the air. Hey, if we can get Samson, if we can get a moon base, I am all for it. If we can get a huge amateur radio station on the moon, I would absolutely love it. A couple just quick comments related specifically to the satellites. We had a couple folks hopping in here. Let me just pull some of those comments up. Zach says, can we get a GoFundMe to a geostationary repeater over North America? Zach's going to kick us off with the first $5. So let's get that. Also, satellite launch 1013 EST tomorrow via Sat3. And we also have LoRa enabled on many of these satellites.
Nice. It's also a launch in 5 hours, LA06. Yeah, and 5 hours today.
I'll read out here from Page 2 XX. We as a community should have more say on what goes on in the commercial space arena. Totally agree. We should be involved and we should be informed.
Honestly, we should be informing. I mean, we should present ourselves as a reference. I mean, really, we are a very good reference for a lot of commercial industry, and whether they want to admit it or not. And I honestly think that we could probably benefit by presenting ourselves as such. So great, some great comments there. Really appreciate those comments. And EOD Kaboom also says everyone wants to get in space internet competition. They will never match or exceed Starlink. It's had years to get ahead. Yet Starlink, honestly, is crazy. I could see somebody eventually overtaking them, but it's going to take a while. It's going to take a very long time, and they've had a huge head start, and they're doing cool things. They're really doing cool things. But we'll see how all that goes. You have a couple other stories here you want to talk about, James, and I know you're going to have to run here in a little bit. So let's go ahead and cover a couple more of the ones you're wanting to talk about. Step IR.
Well, maybe just there before continuing on the space theme.
Yeah.
We covered this a little bit ago, but I think it's worth mentioning again. We're going to be at Dayton Hamvention coming up May 15th here in Dayton, Ohio. And John Schaffner, KO4MJC, an astronaut with Axiom Space, is going to be a special guest of amateur radio.
Very cool.
The ARIS organization at Dayton. So that is an awesome, again, just really emphasizes and demonstrates that strong relationship between amateur radio operators and the satellite and space community here. So I'm super excited to meet John and hopefully get to see some of his forum, shake his hand, and talk to him about everything Axiom Space related.
Yeah, for sure. And while you're talking about Dayton, I mean, great segue there. What else do you want to tell us about Dayton? What else going on in the planning phases there for World Radio League?
Lots of planning. We are going to be having some free gifts to give out. We're going to be giving away some free books to anyone who comes and visits us and is working on a license upgrade. We'll also have some free band plans and free stickers we'll be giving away. So come and visit us. We have all of our volunteers, so thank you everybody who's going to be volunteering.
Come find me because I love giving away stickers. So you'll get stickers if you see me.
Go find Andy. And I don't know, what are you excited for, Andy? What are you excited for?
I am just super excited to meet everybody. Honestly, I think me and you have never met in person. This is like going to be our first time. So I am super excited to meet so many people, so many good friends that I have gotten to know over the last a couple of years here, and I am so excited to meet so many of them, and honestly, seeing the largest ham radio convention in the world is something that I am really looking forward to, and I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be really, really awesome, and 30,000 people every year. It's going to be like no event that I've ever attended for sure. It's going to be massive, but. I'm super, super excited to attend this year.
Yeah, me too.
How about you? What are you excited for?
Well, in addition to that, there's a big contest dinner. So some of the top ham radio contesters from around the world will be there. And we'll be meeting with the World Radio Sport Team Championship for 2026. That's going to be hosted in London, talking to the WRTC team and planning more about using World Radio League as the technology platform. So we'll have a lot of good meetings about that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is so awesome. And while we're on that subject, how's WRTC 2026? How's all the setup and planning going there?
It is coming along great. We have been testing our Raspberry Pis. Andy, I know you got your Raspberry Pi set up this week, where we're testing some of the streaming from the logging applications. We've continuing to improve on the UI, continuing to improve on the back end of the WRTC as well. So it is going to shape up to be an absolutely incredible competition here.
Very nice. If you don't have a Raspberry Pi, get a Raspberry Pi. They are so fun. Just get a Raspberry Pi. Cool. They're an awesome little piece of technology. I love a Raspberry Pi, and it's Raspberry Pi, not PIE, so it's it's non-consumable, but they are very, very fun little single board computers. Back to Dayton really quick. How's the signups going for volunteers? Is that closed out at this point?
It's closed out. It's full. We have a full set of volunteers who are going to be
awesome.
I know Ken KC8ZKS was in the chat here. I believe he's at a POTA Park right now on 17 meters FT8. So shout out to Ken KC8ZKS. Nice. Mike K8NHH is going to be there. Tom W9TEF. I believe POTA Power is going to come in for a little while and work the booth with us. Andy, you and I will be there. So we'll have a full team.
I will be there most of the time. I definitely am going to walk the floor. I've never been to Hamvention before, so I will walk the floor at least once. But I will be at the booth for much of the time. So really looking forward to that. And I want to swing by the Big Alley booth. I do not have Big Alley money, but I want to swing by the Big Alley booth and just try out a couple of their keys because they look really cool.
Oh, speaking of some big spending. Step IR antennas are so Step IR. Now, full disclosure, this is not an antenna that I have. I think most of the antennas they have are really some big Yagi antennas, the type of things that people that are contesters and type of things you would be, mounting on a tower for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm not super familiar with all of their product line, but I think in about mid 2025, they had announced that they were going to stop selling direct to consumer. And some really good news is that, according to them, because of some good updates on their commercial side of their business, Step IR is going to continue to offer and sell direct to consumers through the website. So this is really, really good news for the Step IR fans. I know a lot of amateur radio operators who are big Step IR fans, use their antennas as well as many of their other products. So this is good news for the amateur radio community, and it's good to see businesses that make a comeback and decide to keep going D2C, keep producing great products. So I think this is good news for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's fantastic. It's very cool. And honestly, it kind of reminded me of something we talked about last week, which is a couple of companies, High Gain and Cushcraft, MFJ companies. They were just recently bought. MFJ basically went out of business. Well, those High Gain and Cushcraft bands were just bought by the ITU Corporation this month, and they transferred the whole business over, and they're gonna start ITU Corporation. They're a manufacturer, but not in the ham radio space. So this is like their foray into, if I'm saying that word right, forgive me if I'm not, into the amateur radio space, and they're going to start selling High Gain and Cushcraft antennas, which I think that's awesome. They're going to start manufacturing in around Linton, Indiana. So it's going to be really cool to see. These people were all distraught when MFJ went out of business, and amateur radio is going to go on. Amateur radio is going to go on. Somebody's going to start a new brand. Somebody's going to buy an old one. It's going to keep rolling.
Yeah, I mean, and I think we're starting to see a lot of new products come out from people in the community as well. You're seeing a lot of sort of crowdsourced or smaller projects that are starting that are gaining a lot of steam. So
yeah,
there's always going to be someone, as long as amateur radio operators need antennas and equipment and controllers, and somebody's going to be able to build them, whether it's whether it's one of these companies or whether it's a smaller open source project or what have you. We will certainly always have ways to transmit. There's no question.
Absolutely. One more point on Dayton before we hit the next break. Are we going to see anything new at Dayton from World Radio League and Ham Radio Prep? What's in the works? Are we going to see anything new? Is there going to be any surprises? What's your take there?
Well, one thing, I think everybody should know in amateur radio in the United States, at least for those of you who are in the US, the technician license course, the first level, the questions are getting an update starting on July 1st. So it won't be quite ready in time for Dayton, but we won't be giving away a lot of technician course books because the questions are about to expire, and all of our new material I've been working on filming the new course.
If you're at Dayton, you probably don't need a technician book anyway, but yeah.
Exactly. If you're at Dayton, we give away a lot of extra course books because of that. Because there's a lot of folks like you, Andy, that stay at General for forever.
Yeah, I was at More Expo a couple weeks ago and wiped out of technician books right away, and didn't give out very many general or extra. And it just depends on the event. Of course, that event was not a ham radio event; it was an overlanding event, and so there was a lot of people who were interested in ham radio, and hadn't got their license yet. So that was the perfect time to give away technician books. Dayton is exactly the opposite. It is all ham radio operators, and it's you're probably not going to give away very many technician books unless it's somebody who wants them for a friend or a family member.
Yeah. So, we'll be demoing and giving you all the latest on World Radio League and Ham Radio Prep. The technician course, like I said, for 2026 will be launched around June 1st. So people who are planning to take their technician exam after July 1st, 2026 will have at least a month to start studying the new question pool before it goes live. And I'm sure we'll have lots of surprises for you as well. And hopefully we'll be able to get out a couple really nice big features before Hamvention to demo them live for you at the event.
Absolutely. I want to demo Cat Control and the desktop app live at Hamvention. That's what I want to demo. So we'll just keep cheering on our dev team as they work hard getting back in the saddle from getting married and each one of them. And we're looking forward to getting Cat Control integrated into the desktop app. As we said 3 weeks ago, we gave the time estimate. It was going to be it's 2 weeks ago. We gave the time estimate. It was going to be 4 to 6 weeks. Last week we said 3 to 5. This week we're saying 2 to 4. So we're still right on track from where we were 2 weeks ago, getting Cat Control integrated into the desktop app. We appreciate all your patience as we do this. We very much appreciate it. I know we mentioned at the beginning that we might have it in right away. It was not going to work and get the desktop out in a timely fashion and Cat Control integrated at the same time. So we opted to go ahead and release the desktop app, and Cat Control will be integrated very, very shortly, and we're very excited about that. Guys, we are up against our next break. We're going to go ahead and hit the play button on the break time here, but we definitely have more to talk about. I'm going to be doing some talking about some severe weather preparation, some Skywarn operating. There's a really cool channel. I might even pull up. He's got a live stream going right now, and I might even pull it up and watch a little bit of it with you guys, as we have some severe weather going on right now in parts of the country. So we might take a look at that. And also, I'm going to be reviewing an old World Radio League video and walking through that. I think that should be fun. James, you said you're going to be dropping at this point. Is that right?
I will be dropping at this point. Apologies, guys. I have to do some work on that new technician course for the rest of the day. But 73 to everybody out there, thank you. Keep all of the awesome feature requests coming. That is like our lifeblood when we hear from you guys. Hey, whatever you want to do, even if you have to remind us a couple times, we every single time we hear that feedback from you, it goes right into our process, and we work absolutely as hard as we can to keep those coming. But we have some fun along the way, I would say, Andy.
Absolutely,
we have a little bit of fun along the way, and and I'd say and if you have any issues with the app at all, hit that report a bug, and thanks everybody for watching the show today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, James,
Andy,
for coming on
for hosting it, man.
Absolutely. This is one of my favorite things every week, and as I say, I have more fun than a human being should be allowed to have. But James, thank you so much for coming along for the first hour. Have a great rest of your day. Guys, we will be right back after this break with hour 2 of the fastest 2 hours in ham radio. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back. Are you ready to ditch that 90s ham radio logging software and upgrade to something from this century? Well, now you can. Welcome to a brand new era of software in ham radio, World Radio League. Whether you're a brand new ham radio operator just getting started or a seasoned veteran looking to upgrade your logging experience, World Radio League is the ham radio tool suite for you. Its sleek, modern design brings ham radio into today's world. No more digging through endless menus to find basic features. It's all right in front of you, ready to go with just a couple clicks. An extremely customizable logging interface is just the beginning. We integrate with 7 spotting networks to make finding your contacts that much easier. Plus, we offer many custom mapping and analytics tools so that you can view your contacts your way. We have all sorts of tools tailored to contesting, POTA, SOTA, WWFF, and other activities as well. And it gets better. With our cloud-based log storage, you can access your logs using our fully featured web interface in tandem with our robust mobile app. You can log into your account on any device and even log contacts offline, syncing them to your online account later. The best part? Logging with World Radio League is free. Just set up an account and start logging. Want to use advanced features like large log imports and analytics? Upgrade to a premium plan starting at only $3 a month. Join a huge community of ham radio operators at the fastest growing ham radio software platform available by creating your free account at worldradioleague.com today, or search for World Radio League in your favorite app store. Welcome back, each and every one of y'all. Welcome to the third half of the show. This is the fastest 2 hours in ham radio, the World Radio League show. I am Andy N0APX, your extra ham radio operator host for today. So happy to see each and every one of you here. That music cranked down so we don't blast your eardrums with both of us. Saw a comment over the break, came in from Ray. Says, ham clock would be handy? Yes. Sorry, I forgot to pull up a demo. I was going to pull up a demo. Maybe I can pull up in the next break if I am so inclined as to remember. But yes, we do have a really cool dashboard that you're going to absolutely love, Ray. And it's going to be incredible. So, yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely awesome. And we will have that out. Actually, we're planning on finalizing it this week. I'm going to be working with the dev very closely this week to get that one finalized, so we can get it out the door hopefully within the next week or two. It's going to be really awesome. I'm going to go ahead and cover some of y'all's comments. We've got more stuff here. Actually, I'm going to look back through some of this. We've got Zach. Says, question for all the WRLers going to Dayton this year. Should we all get together and do a pod activation? My daughter and I will be there Friday and Saturday and would love to activate a park. That's an awesome idea, Zach. Somebody let me know in the comments here, where's the nearest park? If the nearest park is just, a few miles away, or on site would be even better. But if the nearest park is a few miles away, Zach, I would love to join you and your daughter for a CW pod activation. That would be so much fun. Yeah, just let me know where the nearest park is. We'll see what it'll work out. I don't know the exact schedule, my exact schedule while I'm there yet. So, let me know. Let me know, man. You can always DM me on Discord if nothing else. Question here from Victor Papa 2 EIH on Anguilla Island. Is the connection app to radio working better now? I tried WRL during contest weekend. Kept using a connection to rig. I had to go back to N1M for the Ram contest. Yeah, we are. We've got a lot of bug fixes out in the Cat Control app, and we've got even more really cool updates coming for said app. So, yeah, I would come back and try it again. And once we get it integrated into the desktop app, we've got some really awesome stuff that's going to be coming there specifically as well. So, yeah, just keep an eye on it and let us know if there's anything specific that we can help you with. 3-day POTA user, love it. Chad and Heather, that's awesome. That's fantastic. Glad you're loving it. Hello from Tennessee, Six Storm. Hello from Tennessee. Passed my tech last week studying for general this morning. Looking forward to getting into World Radio League in the future. That is incredible. Keep going. Hope you're using Ham Radio Prep to study. It's the best way to study. Yeah, go for it, man. I mean, really, this is an awesome hobby, and we're super excited to have you, coming into World Radio League, coming into the hobby. And yeah, I hope you have a ton of fun as an amateur radio operator. Make more promotion in Europe for the greatest logging solution ever. I love this comment. I just really love this comment. Yeah, absolutely. If you know of any way to help us promote it in Europe, by all means, let us know. This is an awesome idea to really promote it across the world. It is the World Radio League, and we have a lot of international features. So, Lighthouse is on the air. I believe James maybe talked about this earlier. That one's likely coming. Boy Scouts on the air. I don't know if that one's in our list yet, but we can definitely look at it. What else do we have here? W0NTP talking about call sign stacking. Just about to ask what the timeline is on that. So at this point, it looks like timeline on call stacking. This is something we talked about earlier, where you can, and if you're in a pile up, you can enter some partial call signs, separate them by double slashes and log through them all on a list. This should be coming probably in the next couple weeks. He's like in the middle of working on this one, so I would say in the next week or two, you'll hear. We'll hear some more about this probably next show, and it'll probably be close to ready by that time. So great question. We've got EOD Kaboom talking about ADAF exports to LOTW properly for VUCC. EOD Kaboom, Tim, I can't remember what we were talking about at this point. If this is something important that we need to cover, be sure and ping me on that, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, Ray says QSL cards would be cool. We do have some plans in the works for some automatically generated QSL cards, so keep an eye out for that. Terry's excited to get Cat Control in the desktop app. Yes, it is. It is absolutely. We've said this 2 or 3 times now on the show. It's coming to the desktop app. Current best timeline is 2 to 4 weeks, and we've stuck by that timeline since 2 weeks ago when we said it would be 4 to 6 weeks. So we're still on track at this point. Ken was at KC8ZKS was at US 1937 on FT8 17 meters earlier in the show. If Ken's still out there, go work him on FT8. Ken, thank you for tuning in. I wanted to give a thank you. Somebody congratulated me on getting extra a few weeks ago. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're very kind. And Samson got his founding member award today. That's fantastic, Samson. That is awesome. Glad you were able to get that award. And yeah, absolutely. We have a few more comments coming in here. Let's see what I missed. We have Ken is at US 11673, US 0916, US 9446, US 1964, all within 5 miles of Xenia. He's telling us what is close to Dayton. Ken, that's awesome. That is fantastic. Maybe we can pull something off, guys. This would be really, really cool to pull this off. I'm really thinking about this. This is a cool idea. Samson, I was a general for about I want to say a year or 2 years, maybe. Probably about a year and a half, almost 2 years before. I think. Let me grab my general I don't know if if that date's on my general plaque. Yes. Yeah, I was a general for probably close to 2 years, I would say, before I became an extra. So great question. But you can upgrade anytime to extra. You can upgrade anytime. What? Zach and Ken are amongst the top 5 in the World Radio League logging streak list. Apparently self-dubbed as top streakers. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Ken says he will have his ham shack on wheels at Dayton. So awesome, Ken. Looking forward to meeting you. And yeah, you've been such a huge. So many of you have been such a huge benefit to World Radio League, and we really appreciate all of you very, very, very much. So we were talking about earlier in the show. We were discussing people complaining to the FCC for infringing on their spectrum, and I totally understand that. What I don't understand is people griping to each other about new technology being used on the amateur radio bands. And I have prepared a song for this. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and roll the song. I think I've played this a few shows back, but yeah, go ahead and yeah, Zach, yeah, the name needs work. Just keep working. Keep working on it, man. All right, let's play the song. Here we go.
Got a coffee can of crystals, dusty knobs and a busted chair. I tuned this rig by a fingertip when most of y'all weren't there. Now you're rolling with your gadgets, flashy screens I can't stand. Clicking, tapping, talking to the world. Boy, get off my band. Get off my band, you button pushing stranger. This old way was built by calloused hands.
Ba 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 ba.
About your firmware, I'm talking about the land. If you ain't here to rack you slow, then get off my band. Yeah, get off my band. We used to chase that faint voice through the hiss and the howling rain. Now it's talk groups, talk codes, I can't even catch your name. You got lists and little icons, but you don't know how to stand through a storm with just a wire and a wish. So get off my band. Get off my band, you shortcut taking hero. You brag about on a signal pre-program. I tune this cold by ear. You just scroll and let it scan. If you won't learn to ride the fading tide, then get off
my band.
Yeah, get off my band. skips till the sunrise, logbook full of crooked plans. So when I hear that auto call right across my favorite span, I growl into this mic and drawl, son, get off my band. Get off it! Get off my band, you shiny plastic cowboy. With your menus, I don't understand. I'm sticking with this humming box and a rusty tower stand. You can keep your fancy talking toys, just get off my band. One more time for the back row boys, get off my band.
Get off my bed. Shiny plastic cowboy. Yes, okay. Oh my lands. Ah, man. That track cracks me up. So I thought of that whenever I thought of that before the show, and I thought about it whenever we were talking about folks berating the FCC, and what better time to insert it. So Brian asking a question here: how is the WRL desktop app coming along? I know it's been released. How far behind is it compared to the web or mobile versions? It is very up to date. They are all we are keeping them all up to date in their respective lanes. It is not a replacement for the web app. It is an extension of the web app, as is the mobile app. So it is very up to date. We have a new release coming like in the next few days with some bug fixes. But as far as systems go, it is very, very up to date in its lane. So yeah, absolutely. And cat control, as we've stated, will be coming very soon. Very excited about that. Glad y'all like the sad ham anthem, as Samson calls it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's a fun one. So yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, we're gonna pivot just a little bit here, and we're gonna talk a little bit about. Well, actually, we're gonna have a break here in a few minutes, and I'm gonna have plenty of time to talk weather. So let's go ahead and do a video reaction. This one should be fun. This video is not terribly long, but I do wanna react to this because this is something that I think we released. Yeah, November of 2014 was when we released this video. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen here. See if we can get it. There we go. Let's pop that out here. There we are. Okay. I'm going to add this to the stage. And guys, please tell me in the chat if you can hear the audio. In fact, I'm going to, as we try to make sure we get this brought up here, I'm going to go ahead and open YouTube on my other device and just check audio. Just play a little bit and check audio so that I can verify whether this is coming through or not. So give me just a second here to test this.
Hello, I'm Andy. N0.
Okay. Let's see here. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Andy.
Yes. Audio is good. Okay. All right. Perfect. Let's go ahead and play this. You can already tell this has been a while back. Let's listen for a couple minutes here.
Hello, I'm Andy, N0APX, and today I'm excited to introduce you to a brand new era of logging inside your World Radio League logbook. Welcome to QSO Manager.
I'm like so crazy. I'm wearing the same shirt. Look, I'm wearing the same shirt I was a year ago, or almost a year and a half ago. That's awesome. So you can already tell. Yes, Chris called it. That's hilarious. Chris noticed the same thing. It's hilarious. I didn't even know I was going to do this review today when I put on this shirt this morning. But yes, same shirt. Much worse camera. And you can already tell I'm like, I look almost like nervous, like I'm all cramped in a corner here. But this is my old shack. I actually had a shack built in my house before we moved out to the new shack in the barn. We renovated the barn, put in. You can see the beautiful pine around me, and the Blue Barn Studios came after this was recorded. This was I think we recorded this. Yeah, it was released November 13th, 2024. And so it was late 2024. This was actually not that long after I started working at World Radio League. I started in June or July 2024, I believe, is when I started. So it's not long after that when we recorded this video. But yeah, let's go ahead and watch a little bit more of it here. Oh, you can also see the old band plan behind me. You can't see my mouse here, but you can see the old band plan behind me on the table there, and you can see World Radio League some. Oh, I was giving a sneak peek. You can see this is funny. This is some stuff that's been launched already, but I had a sneak peek up on the monitor to my right behind me there. Well, actually to the viewer's right on the monitor behind me. I was giving a sneak peek of some of our Figma designs of a new feature coming up. I think it was the more compact log list maybe, and you can see that behind me there. That's been a long time ago. And on the other screen, of course, is the World Radio League logging page. But yeah, same microphone. I was using a different audio interface. Up here, I had the PreSonus Audio Box 96. Now I'm using the DLZ Creator system. It's the Creator XS. It's a really awesome system. So a lot of fun. But yeah, same speakers, same microphone. Very different camera. I was probably using a phone camera or a GoPro at this point. But yeah, I'm using the Canon R10. And if you're interested, I'm wearing a different pin today. That one I was wearing the Pilot E95S, which is my first and I think only gold nib. I may have one other gold nib. I can't remember. But today I've got the El Cheapo Pilot Metropolitan. So yeah. Glasses are actually a different pair of glasses. It's just the same frames that it's a new pair of the same model of frames. So yeah, okay, let's keep watching this. This is pretty good. This is pretty funny. Let's what just happened to my screen here? Okay, let's go ahead and pull this down. Keep watching this a little bit. Here's the intro. QSO Manager is a brand new feature that allows you to edit your contacts like you've never been able to edit them before. To access QSO Manager, I need to do more of these kind of videos. I sound really excited here, and I was, because QSO Manager was awesome, but I need to do more of these kind of videos. And I love the animations here. Our video editor does a really great job with these animations. So you see like the button click animations, they're really cool. But yeah, these voiceovers, I used to do these voiceovers a lot, and I need to do more of these type of videos, some walkthroughs. If there's something specific that you don't think we've covered well in our video catalog, just drop it down below, and we'll maybe we can get that on the list for some future videos. So, yeah. First, we'll go to the log contacts page. Now you can see we have our logbook list as usual, but we also have a new QSO Manager tab and an activity log tab. This is really cool because it shows how far we've come since the recording of this video, because we have, at that point, we had all we had was the logbooks and then the new QSO Manager and activity log. Now we have also added the QSO map tab. We've added we've so improved the UI. This is so cool, because if you look at this, you can see all the UI refinements, the new time ticker and the header here, at least new since that. And the band conditions and band plan were added since then. And hey, looky here, we have I don't remember when we added these. We've got the IARU band plan links here for those other regions. And we've also, we've added I don't know, did we have notifications at this? Yeah, we had notifications, but we did not have light and dark mode. This was before light mode. And also no streaks either. And of course no lifetime memberships. But yeah, and now we've got this logbook search, sort, and filter. This page has changed so drastically. We've got the new favorites and new QSO map tab. We've updated the UI on this element here. The search element, it's more rounded, and the video is more square. And we've got some new elements in the side here too. Anyway, let's go ahead and pop back over there. We got a lot more side elements. Just look at how many vanish whenever I pop back over here to the video. Let me go ahead and share that again. It's just crazy to see how much progress we've literally made in a year and a half. I mean, this is awesome. So let's go ahead and keep watching this.
We'll get to the activity log shortly. First of all, let's take a look at QSO Manager. Here in QSO Manager, you can access all of your contacts across all of your logbooks. You can filter them by any parameter you want in order to bulk edit any number of contacts in your log.
I can show you once I finish the walkthrough in the video here, but we've even got more filters and stuff than we do here in the video. We've got, well, maybe not more filters, but more actions, more bulk actions.
Let me show you how. First of all, we'll click the filter button. Then we'll select logbook. I'm going to select all of my mobile logbooks. I'll click apply. You can see I have 13 QSOs listed. I'll click select
this was
all.
Like
and although we had to limit these contacts to 10 per page, this selects all the contacts that fit your filters. Now we'll click edit bulk details.
Do we still limit to 10? Do we still limit to 10 or do we limit to 50? Can't remember. Yeah, we limit to 50 now. So now you can show 50 at a time.
I'll select antenna, and then select the antenna that I've been using. In my case, it's a quarter wave ground plane for my mobile contacts. Now I'll click save. Now I can click preview your changes. Now you can see here that we highly recommend exporting an ADIF before making a bulk update. Clicking this button will export a full ADIF of all your contacts, giving you a complete backup of your log. Now click update contacts.
Still not a bad idea.
See, it tells us the contacts have been updated successfully. Now we'll open one of our QSOs, and you can see it has the quarter wave ground plane antenna applied. Now we'll take a look at activity log. You can see that we've just done a bulk edit for 13 QSOs, and we can click the view button to see exactly what parameters were updated. Now let's see what else we can do with QSO Manager. First of all, I'm going to filter by logbook again. I'll select all and move these QSOs to the logbook titled HF log. We'll click move QSOs. And now if we go to our HF logbook, you can see those QSOs from March 7th have been added.
And you can see here, look at the old AI generated image avatars. That is such a callback. That's hilarious. But yeah, we replaced those. I can't remember how long ago. We replaced those a while back. But, yeah, let's
at the top. You can also adjust what columns you want to see in QSO Manager. You can add any notes you've made about the contact, signal reports, the state name for any US contacts. You can add the operator's name. You can add their park if they're in a POTA park, as well as many other options. Now let's say I want to see all the contacts I've made with a particular operator. I can search that operator's
This was back when James' call sign was KN4NEH. You can see that in one of the contacts here, KN4NEH.
Call sign. And now I can select all of those contacts and edit any of the details I'd like. Now we've just scratched the surface on what you can do with QSO Manager. We have so many more filters here, like band, mode, logbook, country, whether your contacts were imported or directly logged into World Radio League. You can filter duplicates. You can filter whether your contacts are confirmed or not.
Cool.
You can filter imported contacts, and you can also filter by date. Now you can combine up to 4 of any of these filters.
I think
you're filtering by
this
band
was before the big database transition we did several months back, like a year ago, and almost a year ago now. we were restricted to like 4 different filters at a time. Now I think that restriction has been removed. I believe. I think you can do several filters at a time now.
Mode, you can select as many bands or modes as you'd like and still add up to 2 more filters plus the date. One other great new feature that we've included in this release is the ability to merge logbooks. Let me use my logbook from March 14th.
This is still a really cool
I can
feature.
hover over the menu button on the logbook, click merge to other logbook, and then select the logbook I'd like to merge it into. We'll click merge logbook. And now you can see that the 3 QSOs from March 14th.
This is look at this UI. It's so wide. This is the way it used to be until we did the side-by-side column view, which I like so much better. Although this view still looks really cool, and I still like this view. And so it would be neat to have a way to switch it back and forth. But yeah.
14th have been merged into my HF log. We've also added the ability to import directly into an existing logbook.
Awesome.
And that's QSO Manager. We're excited to bring this innovative new functionality to the World Radio League logbook. If you have any questions, be sure and drop them in the comments down below, and you can always send us a message at community.worldradioleague.com. Tag me at N0APX. I'm Andy, 73.
It brings back so many memories. That is awesome. That is so awesome. Yeah, absolutely. We have so many new, so many changes since then, and I think like this is the QSO Manager page. As you can see, we got all the confirmation requests and rechecks, all the QRZ and LOTW integration, and the logbook shapes are we got this double view here. It's so cool. It is so cool to see all the progress we made in a year and a half. Well, guys, we are up against our last break. We're going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back and talk about some severe weather and Skywarn topics. Thank you for sticking with us through that. That was fun. That was really fun. We're going to have to react to more of these in the future. That is really cool. We are going to go hit a quick break. We will be right back after this to talk about Skywarn and maybe pull up a live stream that another YouTuber is doing right now. And kind of give him a shout out and talk about some of the severe weather going on. Guys, don't go anywhere. Wrong track. Don't go anywhere, guys. We will be right back.
With your ham radio license, you can communicate with dozens of satellites in space, and even talk with astronauts on the International Space Station who are licensed ham radio operators. In fact, amateur radio is an official backup communication on the ISS, and ham radio is even used in SpaceX missions such as FRAM-2, where SSTV images were transmitted from the SpaceX Dragon spacecraft. You can use ham radio to communicate with satellites and spacecraft too. All you need is a little knowledge. Join Jim, N4BFR, the lead instructor at Ham Radio Prep, in our new Satellite and Space Operations course. In this course, we'll guide you step by step through everything you need to know to take your ham radio operations from beyond the Earth into the satellites and space above us. And guess what? You don't need thousands of dollars in equipment to get started. All you need is at least a technician ham radio license and a basic handheld. We'll show you how to make your first satellite contacts by building your own antenna for less than $50 and build from there. You'll learn how to make contacts thousands of miles away using a satellite as a repeater. You'll learn how to track satellites moving at over 17,500 miles per hour overhead in real time and communicate via voice, SSTV images, APRS, or even bounce your signal off the moon. You'll hear from leading experts in amateur radio space communications directly about cutting-edge projects and initiatives. This course is your gateway into the world of space exploration and communications, where you'll both sharpen your practical operating skills while also learning about the underlying theory and concepts that drive space communications. Seize the opportunity to take your ham radio operations to space and beyond. Sign up today at hamradioprep.com.
Welcome back. Hopefully my air conditioner isn't too noisy over here. I'll shut it off here in a couple minutes, but it got hot here in the Blue Barn studio. Glad to see everybody here. We have some rather intense weather going on in the Midwestern U.S. Crank down this background music a little bit. Shout out to K1EDR. Who else? KF7WJV showing up. So many people mentioned that I was wearing the same shirt. Hilarious. I didn't even know that I had the same shirt on. It's so funny. In the video I reacted to just a few minutes ago, if you didn't see that, feel free to jump back there and take a look at it. Guys, I hope my audio sounded better today than usual. As I said, I've got an AC on right now that's probably blaring into my microphone, but yeah, audio should hopefully be better today than usual because I tweaked a few things, and definitely better than last week. Last week was horrible. Last week was rough, but we worked it over, and this week should be a lot better. Not a lot of new questions and such coming into the chat. If you've got any, throw them at me. Happy to talk with you. We are going to show off the dashboard, guys. I remembered this time, and I have pulled up our dashboard here. Let's go ahead and share the screen. Here we go. And this is still in development, so this isn't live anywhere yet. This is a sneak peek. Look at this. Look at this dashboard, man. This is awesome. This is beautiful. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Radar scope for spots. Band conditions. Oh, band conditions. We forgot to talk band conditions. Today, you're looking at an A index of 14, a K index of 1, and a solar flux index, and this is not live numbers that I'm showing you here on the screen. I'm reading them off of the true live numbers. These numbers are just in our dev system. The real numbers: A index at 14, K index at 1, and the solar flux index showing at 156. 156. And yeah, so actually these are solid numbers, guys. These are not bad numbers. These are actually some of the best numbers we've seen for a while. So yeah, you're gonna have really great conditions right now, honestly. 80 is gonna be, of course, 80 and 40 are of course gonna be poor during the day, and 10 and 12 are gonna be poor during the night. Everything else on the board is looking good. I mean, really, this is awesome. So great conditions there. But this is the dashboard. Welcome back, Catalina, and our viewership number spikes by 20%. No, I'm kidding. We'll see what happens. But yes, Catalina is back, and just in time to see the new dashboard that we are demoing. This is all completely not live yet, so don't tell anybody. But this is in development as we speak. And looky here, if we see here, if I grab some of these, there we go. Grab a target here, grab a spot. It's showing up. Since I'm not signed in, let me go ahead and sign in with credentials here. There we go. And grab one of the spots on the board here. You can see that, and yeah, there's my location, their location, and there's the radar, I believe. What was the modifier key? Yeah, the shift key is the modifier key here. There we go. And yeah, absolutely. There's our spot radar, a beam heading, very cool widgets there. UTC and local time live. We've got all the solar imagery, propagation, band conditions, live spots, live contests, all that good stuff. And I'm afraid that this is going to go very poorly because things go very poorly when you're live. But if I click the Edit Layout button, then I should be able to grab this widget and pop it above that widget, and boom, reorganized. Looky there. And yes, this is once again in development. I'm not sure if the reorganization is going to be out in the first version or not, but it is in the works, as you can see. So really excited about that. You can pick which widgets you want to show and hide here. And
Hey,
some of
Andy,
these things will
maybe
be
you
updated.
already explained, but how can we access to this
Okay, so
whenever?
it's not live yet. It will literally be on your home page. On the main homepage here, it'll have a button that says Shack Console or whatever it says when we release it. You click that button, boom, it replaces your home page. You can go full window, so it literally fills your full browser tab. You can click full screen, which literally fills your entire screen. At this point, it's just wanting to go full window on me. I'll have to figure out that's a recent bug. But anyway, full window, full screen mode, or you can return back to the main homepage. So, a lot of really cool options here. What do you think, Catalina? What would you do if you were looking at this? What would you change?
I love it. I think I don't know. I think I'm not gonna change anything because I was able to say something whenever it was starting, but right now I think that it's ready to be live.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very close. There's a few tweaks and stuff that we're gonna have to probably do. We've got a key down here for the band and mode, shapes, colors, that type of thing. Right now, the overlay is basically live contacts and spots. We will be adding many more overlays to this map. That's just the ones we have right now. This is very resizable, so if you change your window size and shape or whatever, it's very adjustable. So, and also we will be very likely adding many more widgets, optional widgets to this as well. And like I said, these are all optional. You can tweak this to fit your shack. And I really like the DX News ticker down here across the bottom. There's some really cool ham radio news and information that goes across down there. So be very excited, as this is coming very soon to a ham radio shack near you. Yeah. So Catalina, you're gonna have something really cool to share on social media very soon.
I am waiting for that. I love those cool screen shares of. Well, World Radio League app is so beautiful that anything that you can screenshot is very beautiful on a social media post. That you don't need to do any designs. The design itself is beautiful and very.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Old Swamper says, "Thanks for the major award. The QSO mug is great looking." So, Old Swamper got one of the first Q code mugs, I think. So. Great, fantastic. Catalina, great work on getting that out to him, and great work to Ryan, our designer, for designing such a beautiful new mug. So, just quick fun fact here before I pull up this live stream I've been referencing. I've been referencing a storm chaser live stream, and Catalina, you probably don't have that much severe weather, as in tornadoes and thunderstorms, severe thunderstorms, that type of thing down there in Argentina, do you?
No, but lately the weather is crazy. Like, we didn't have a lot of floods or wind storms or anything. And the past 2 months, there were a lot of floods, a lot of wind storms. So weather is crazy here lately, but we don't have those natural disasters in my city.
Yeah, absolutely. I am going to just share a quick cool stat that I found today before we dive into this. And this is that, why is it showing up as a background? Now, that's weird. Okay, we're going to pull me and Catalina off the screen. You can still hear us, but look at this stat here. This is U.S. Over the last, over the last basically 15 years, 20 years, 15 years, of license counts. And so it was going up till about 2018. It peaked, and then it kind of leveled off and back down to 750,000 active licenses in the U.S. in 2025. This is really interesting to me, and I saw a lot more graphs besides this, but I just thought this was really cool. I had kind of heard that it was maybe more on the decline. It's not really. It's more just leveling off, a stabilizing number. And I honestly... I expect to see this number begin rising pretty soon. Anyway, I thought that was a pretty cool stat. Just wanted if I can keep myself on the stream here. There we go. Okay. There we go.
What are you doing?
I'm causing all sorts of mayhem. All right, I'm going to share this. This is actually there are some storms bearing down on our location here before too long. My location here, the Blue Barn Studio. So I'm going to go ahead and share this stream. Go check out Max Velocity YouTube channel. This is really cool. Let me go ahead and unmute him so we can kind of hear what he's talking about, and kind of throw your thoughts in the chat here as to what you think is going to happen. And let's look at this for a couple minutes, and then we're going to talk Skywarn.
Very prominent hook echo and very easily could produce a much more significant tornado threat. This is not the type of storm that you want to be messing around with.
This could get interesting. He's using radar Omega, which is the same.
We're also still monitoring the one north of Fluorescent. So over near Alton. Still a discrete supercell. Hasn't really had much success, but we're still watching it. We got multiple storm chasers that are near this. So we're keeping an eye on all of them.
He has a network
in case that storm decides it wants to...
He has a network of storm chasers, which is basically people who are driving into the storms for him, sending him data from the storms, like live streaming back to him what's going on, telling him what's happening. And they're literally driving up to these things and watching them up close. So it's crazy.
And that PDS tornado watch, will actually have meaning, because obviously there hasn't been anything yet, but within the next hour, we do expect storms to rapidly intensify.
That Marshfield, Lebanon area over there on the left, before he zoomed in, that's kind of close to my location.
Rotation's getting a lot stronger here, northeast of Columbia. We got two very definitive areas of rotation right now. Northeast of Columbia, north of Kingdom City. These are really starting to get their act together.
Yeah, it looks like there could be some nasty stuff going on.
I'm concerned that we might have a significant tornado threat beginning to brew here in central Missouri.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, for those that are over in St. Louis, these might be concerns for you guys down the line.
Well, a little ways north of me.
Another heads up. St. Louis, we've told you guys you have like 90 million storms coming. We got more coming probably later today. Not going to be done in St. Louis till at least 8 o'clock, I think. Hey, Ben for the super chat, and also Demon for the super chat. Fort Wayne, mainly a wind threat tonight. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. This is just north of Louisville, Kentucky. Mainly looking at damaging winds, but they did have a tornado possible tag for this. The Metropolis? Okay, Metropolis. I think a pronunciation correct.
Like there's stuff brewing around.
It would be really useful if this radar site was working near Columbia. Unfortunately, it is not.
Let me mute him real quick. There's stuff brewing around Neosho and Joplin, Missouri that could be headed our way pretty quickly.
I don't know if that radar site exists anymore. Oh, when's the last time this thing was on? Doesn't even say. I think that radar's gone. It's a college radar? Oh, it's there? Okay.
Anyway, pretty crazy. We'll leave that up for a couple minutes here, but muted. You can see he's got two of his storm chasers across the bottom there, Brad Adair and St. Charles. And up there he just zoomed in on the St. Charles. Got some pictures and wow, storm damage pictures and videos he's got pulled up there. That's crazy. Huge trees knocked over. That is insane. That's crazy.
Bar reads 70 right here, and I'm about only a couple miles south of where this storm's going to track. So while it's probably elevated at the moment, the warm air is affecting north in front of it. So I think there is at least some chance of this thing it goes surface based here in the next 20-30 minutes as that warm air backs up into it.
Thank you for the update. So that is storm chaser Connor Croft. He thinks this storm here is going to become a much larger concern down the line as it goes towards Hillsborough, Litchfield, and as well as Nokomis.
That's crazy. I'm going to go ahead and mute him for a few minutes. But yes, this is absolutely crazy. This guy's got quite a network, and it's very, very great guy to watch, to kind of keep up on weather across the nation. And I think this is really cool. I was glad to find him. But yeah, go check out Max Velocity's channel. Honestly, this is a huge thing that ham radio operators offer to the hobby. And Catalina, once again, you probably don't have that much severe weather down there in Argentina, But
No.
do you have any sort of weather reporting community amongst the amateur radio operators down there that you know of?
I don't know exactly. And lately, as we have these weather crazy things, um, there is like a little bit of mess with weather conditions because they can't like know what's happening. Like the windstorm was not like advertised before, so we didn't know about that. And
Yeah.
yesterday was very, very, very strange and very like I don't know. For example, I am in the center of my city, and my things in the little garden that I have here were like floating, and I couldn't do anything. And I didn't know that is that they can't know what's the weather would like tomorrow. So I think that they are adjusting some things. So I think that we are a little bit lost with weather lately. But
Yeah.
I think I believe that in the club, for example, from the city, they have great information about the weather. I remember when I went there to get my license, they have all the information about the weather conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really here in the States, it's a big deal because we have what's called Skywarn, which is a really cool network of amateur radio operators who are all, some of them become storm chasers. Some of them are out, and we have what Skywarn nets on our repeaters where we'll have a net control operator, and all the operators will call in, their storm reports from their area. It gets a little frustrating at times because some operators are like there will be like a severe tornado threat, like a really extreme tornado threat, and an operator will come on and be like, I just wanted to report it just started raining here. Or the wind just started blowing really hard, and it's just like these. We have a tornado threat here. We're trying to collect extremely high priority reports, and not any of those lower priority ones. But at the same time, and in a lot of cases, it's really is great, and the community comes together to provide some awesome reports and feedback of that nature. So. Throw in the chat if you're involved in Skywarn. We even on the Ham Radio Prep store, we even have some like Skywarn merch, some Skywarn magnets, vehicle magnets, and that type of thing that you can buy over there. Skywarn is an awesome thing. Our local Skywarn system is like the best repeater system in the area. It's an awesome repeater system, and we cover a huge area of southwestern Missouri and Kansas and I think even down into Arkansas now, and it's such an awesome repeater system. And shout out to Michael. His call sign just completely N0NQW. There we go, N0NQW. He's the trustee of our repeater system. He does an awesome job. So shout out Michael if you're listening, if you're watching. Thank you for running such an awesome system. But yeah, Catalina. What types of what's like the most extreme weather events that you do have in Argentina?
Well, in my province, maybe we don't have a lot, and also I don't live like in a beach city, so maybe that's where major things happen. That's why it's very weird for the city to have these type of storms. Lately, I don't know, it is raining, and for some minute, I don't know, in 5 minutes, a lot of water is coming. For example, last week, my parents' house was full of water because it was like very, very heavy storm.
Oh, that's crazy.
And that was not happening before. Like it is very weird, but it's happening a lot lately, so it's kind of dangerous too. But I think that we don't have like a lot of hurricanes like you, but lately there are some at the beach, like at the
Yeah.
beach city.
Yeah.
And but then yeah, we don't have like major like you do guys in the US.
So do you have context for what a tornado? I mean, have you ever like seen the damages resulting from a tornado, seeing the aftermath of a tornado?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I
pictures
have.
or-
I have
yeah.
seen.
It's an insane
devastating.
thing. It's horrible. It's very devastating. And
Yes, yes.
but I barely remember any of this. But when I was little, or when I was a lot younger, in 2011, the tornado, one of the worst tornadoes in U.S. history, one of the probably top 5 worst tornadoes in U.S. history, went through Joplin, Missouri, and it was, we had people we knew that died in that tornado. It was a horrible event, but it was crazy. Amateur radio played such a huge role in that recovery, because like the first thing that happened, we had the Skywarn system on the scanner. It was just like an old handheld scanner. It wasn't a transmit radio. It was just a receiver only. And we were listening, and one of the first things that happened, it literally, the tornado took out a whole hospital basically. And one of the first things that happened was one of those doctors found their on-site amateur radio equipment that they had there, jumped on the air, said, "I don't know how to use this equipment, but our communication systems are down." And turns out that they were literally, all the cell phone networks, everything was down. They were literally relaying. Doctors were giving prescriptions back and forth, medications they needed to transfer from one hospital to the other, all kinds of things over amateur radio. During that event, trying to get what they needed to each other, to during the recovery process there right at the beginning. It was a crazy event, but it just shows how great amateur radio can be for emergency situations. It's an awesome system.
Remember that last year, one city that is in my province, it's I believe 4.55 hours away from my city. There was like a very big flood, like 5-6 days without any communication.
Wow.
They didn't know where their families. It was a disaster here in Argentina. It was very big. And I remember that I shared a news with James, that one person from Tandil, my city, that we are 5 hours away, he helped through ham radio to people there. Like,
it's so
that's
awesome.
important. We are very far away. They don't have communication, but he reached out through, of course, ham radio to some, I think that it were firefighters or someone, I don't know what they were communicating, and he was helping. I remember that he said, I was 24 hours working for them, and I had to skip my job, but at least I was able to help from very far away, because it's impossible if you don't have a ham radio to communicate with those.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's so awesome to hear those stories, of how ham radio can really help in those type of situations. But yeah, anyway, guys, stay safe out there. Stay weather aware. Keep your eyes on the sky, and make sure that you have a plan to get to safety if something comes your way. If you are in the Midwestern U.S., keep a very close eye on the weather. This could get nasty this evening, so just watch out. Not to end on a down note, but keep your ham radio handy, your HT, your handheld handy, ready to pop onto your local repeater system if necessary, and just keep your family safe, keep yourself safe, keep everyone important to you safe, and stay safe out there today. Thank you all so much for joining us on this awesome Monday afternoon. Great World Radio League Show episode 46 will be coming back to you next week. World Radio League Show episode number 47. Catalina, I'm assuming you will be joining us once again
next Monday.
Next Monday.
Yes, I believe
awesome.
so.
Fantastic. Thank you, Catalina, for coming back today. It was great to see you pop back in. Really appreciate you being here.
Of course. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. Guys, we appreciate each and every one of you. We hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll catch you next week. 7-3, everybody. November 0, Alpha Papa X-Ray, saying 73, and I'm cleared. Did it?